Hi, this is Danny from MABRIK. In the last video, we went over Hera Syndulla and her Spectre rabble. In this video, we're going to be talking about Leia Organa and her Rebel Alliance. Now, as she is the Rebel Alliance General, as you would expect, she has the Rebel keyword. So everything in her deck is going to be basically to do with Rebel synergy. Her special ability is that you can use her action to attack with a Rebel unit, and then you may attack with a second Rebel unit, which basically means you're getting multiple Rebel units going. So you want to have as much in your deck as possible with this Rebel keyword so you can always activate multiple units simultaneously. As like from the other two decks we've just looked over, both Luke and Hera, we can see how there are subtle differences between the way that the resource curve goes. That again, most of Leia's deck is focused on cheaper units, and there is not so much in the higher end. Mostly this is helping to flood the field with lots of units without getting bogged down by high costs. So now we'll look over a few of the finer points of how Leia Organa's deck actually works. The key point of her deck is Rebel. So everything in the deck has a Rebel influence or works with the Rebel keyword. So we'll go through a few of the main ones here. So the Fleet Lieutenant that we've used before that gives a Rebel unit +2 to its attack when this unit is played. Again, as we've used before, we have General Dordona, who gives all friendly Rebel units +1/+1 while he's still on the field. We've used Admiral Akbar before in the previous one. He can heal 1 damage from the base every time he attacks, and when you play him to the field, you may deal damage to a unit equal to the number of units you have in that specific arena. The Wing Leader that we've covered already before, that gives 2 +1/+1 counters to anything to its friendly unit with the Rebel keyword. Then a few additions now. We have Wedge Antilles. He's kind of useful. He allows each of your friendly vehicles, so anything with the vehicle keyword, to get +1/+1 and also gain the trait of Ambush. And the last one here is the Medal Ceremony, a very cheap card because it's free, doesn't cost anything as long as you have this heroism aspect symbol. It allows you to give a +1/+1 counter to up to 3 Rebel units that attacked this same phase. A few of the other key units that I have in this deck, just for notable mentions, is Bail Organa, the Alliance Dispatcher that we've covered before, Mon Mothma, the unit version of Leia Organa. We have Ezra Bridger again, the Echo Base Defender, a useful utility unit with Sentinels so that he can stop people from attacking your base as long as he's still hanging around. The Rogue Operative. I have this cheeky little regional sympathizer here, Bright's Hope that we've had before, just a useful little ship unit. Now I have something that's kind of not Rebel, but kind of works very well in this aspect. I have Chewbacca. We have the Rogue Squadron Skirmisher. The big one here with Leia's deck is Home 1, so the Alliance flagship. And lastly, in the other key units I have in here, is Han Solo. And we'll just go into a few of these other key upgrades and event cards that I have that kind of help this deck along. I have this Snapshot Reflexes that basically give a +1/+1 counter to a unit that it's attached to, but it also has the ability that when you attach it to a unit, it may immediately attack. I have the Rebel Assault, which allows a Rebel unit to get +1/+1 and attack, and then you get to attack with a second Rebel unit for another +1 for the attack. Then I also have here Shoot First, which basically allows you to attack with a unit. That specific unit will get +1 to its attack, and just like Han Solo, it will deal its combat damage first. If that unit it's attacking still survives, then it can deal combat damage back to you. Otherwise, no damage is dealt to the unit that attacks. Asteroid Sanctuary. This allows you to exhaust a unit, and then you can give a shield token to a friendly unit that costs 3 or less. Surprise Strike, which allows you to attack with a unit, and it gets +3 to its attack. And then lastly, Resupply, which is just a very useful multi-purpose card for just adding an additional resource to your resource pile. Well, thank you for staying with me through this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this has given you some very useful insight into how the Star Wars Unlimited deck building side goes. And if you'd like to see the villainy side, make sure you tune in for the next video where we'll talk about Grand Moff Tarkin, Darth Vader, and Grand Admiral Thrawn. Just to give you a little bit of insight to how the heroism side and the villainy side, their deck tech is a little bit different. To keep up to date with all the latest videos from MABRIK, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. May the Force be with you.